What is up, hardcover comic enthusiasts? This is Matt, and bringing you guys the new overview for Red Hood and the Outlaws, new 52 Omnibus, written by Scott Lobdell, James Tynion, Kenneth Rocafort did the art, Julius Gopez, and Timothy Green II. So this book retails at $99.99 in the USA. About $130.99 in Canada. Once again, obviously nobody's paying cover price for these books. Let's be honest. In stock trades, I think I picked this up for $47. I know Amazon has it right now for $61, but they even have a coupon where you can get a few bucks off. So no matter what, you can get a really good deal on this book. So right off the bat, a lot of people say that they didn't like the design of the dust jacket. They thought it was kind of ugly. And so, I mean, you have this right here, which I don't think is horrible at all. I don't mind that. I think this is what a lot of people thought was ugly, was this right here, the spine. And I can see why people would say that. I mean, it is kind of a ketchup and mustard kind of flavor going on right here. I get that. But at the same time, it makes it really pop and stand out on your shelf as well. So, unless you're one of those people that really like uniform shelves, I think it's pretty awesome. Then right here is, don't mind the mess here in my office. Then right here is the back. And this is going to collect issues 0 through 2, I can't even talk tonight. Issues 0 through 27, Teen Titans 16, Batman 17, Red Hood and the Outlaws Annual number 1, including the Death of the Family crossover. Ooh. But anyway, so yeah, I really like the design of the dust jacket. I think it's great. Granted, like I said, the spine is a little different than most Omnis, but it stands out on your shelf. And if we know anything about Red Hood, so he likes to stand out. Inside the flap there, a little bio. Now, when you get it off, this is the actual hardcover, which I love. I actually love this design. I think it's really, really awesome. It's actually a wraparound cover, so it does go all the way around here, including the spine, and then wraps all the way around to the back. And then it just has the simple DC logo there in the middle. But I absolutely love this. I think this is actually probably one of the coolest designs I've seen in a long time from the big two, Marvel and DC. So well done. I actually really, really like the design of this book. Not for everyone, but I dig it. So opening it up here, I've only kind of stretched it out briefly. I haven't really looked at it yet much because it just came in the mail today. But we'll kind of go through this together here. So it does have a table of contents. Kind of go through here and list what's all in there. Now, as far as the story goes on this book, it's hit and miss with a lot of people. Probably more misses than hits, to be quite honest with you. A lot of people were not a fan of this title. They didn't like the way that Starfire was portrayed, especially in the first, 5 or so issues. And I certainly understand that, because I've actually been rereading this series, prepping for the Omni to come out. Kind of decided if I actually wanted it or not, to be honest with you. And in rereading it, I found that I'm enjoying it. I actually enjoy it quite a bit. But as you can see here, this is kind of the reasons why people disliked it. Scott Lobdell really, what's the word I'm looking for? He really sexified, I guess you could say, Starfire. And she sleeps. I mean, in the first 2 issues, she sleeps with Jason Todd and then turns around and sleeps with Arsenal as well. So yeah, and she doesn't care. Like, to her, sex is just a physical thing. There's no emotions attached, blah, blah, blah. But for those that don't know, Scott Lobdell, kind of a sexual guy. If you guys don't know, go listen to our podcast episode, 4 Guys in a Comic, where we interviewed Scott Lobdell. A really nice guy, really awesome guy. We actually loved talking to him. But he was telling us some crazy groupie stories from back in the day, and I mean, that's just him. So you can't hold that against him, I guess. But after the first 5 or so issues, Starfire really kind of comes into her own. It's not as I wouldn't say it's extreme. I think she definitely kind of comes into her own after the first 5 or so issues. But yeah, so I find this book to be a lot of fun. Is it groundbreaking? Is it going to win Eisner? Well, did it? I should say win Eisners. Is this going to be one of those books that goes out of print and everybody's going to be scrambling for it, like Fantastic Four Volume 1 by Hickman? No, not at all. Probably not ever, to be quite honest with you. But at the same time, this book is still a good time. It's a lot of fun. I thoroughly enjoy reading it. Like I said, I'm going back through and kind of rereading it now. It's been about 6 years since I've read it last. And I find myself really, sort of enjoying it. I don't think it's a horrible book at all. And like I said, it's hit and miss with a lot of people, probably more misses than hits. So I would recommend, if you're not familiar with the material, check it out digitally. Actually, I recommend that with any book, really. These Omnis are not cheap, Check stuff out digitally. See if it's up your alley. If it is, grab it. If it's not, move on. But yeah, so as you can see, the art is fantastic. I really enjoyed the art. I thought that is one thing that DC did really well in the New 52. Well, actually in all their comics, even the Rebirth stuff and the current stuff, and is their art usually slays. Marvel, hit and miss. A lot. DC always is usually really, really solid. They always have really good artists usually working on their books. So, but as you can see, the book wants to kind of close. Like I said, I've only kind of opened it up once, and it wants to kind of close when you get towards the end. Same thing in the beginning. It is what it is. Can't really, you got to break it in a little bit there. What are you going to do? But let's get to the back here. I'm not trying to ruin anything for anybody. I just want to, I'm operating one-handed right now. So in the back, you have some concept art of the different characters here. Obviously starting off with the Red Hood. Moving on to the trio here with Arsenal and Starfire. Then you got Essence, Mr. Freeze. I am not a big fan of that design of Mr. Freeze. I don't know, I'm more old school, I guess, in that situation. But yeah. So then you got Crux, Dukra. Dukra is part of the League of Assassins that train Jason Todd, according to New 52 anyway. And there you have it, folks. The final page. Red Hood and the Outlaws, New 52 Omnibus. Go check it out. Please, if you like the channel, subscribe. Be sure that you're sharing this with your friends as well. And until next time, the power is yours.